Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Kristi and today I have a blood glucose test for you. Let's go ahead and start out with, if you don't follow me on Instagram, my name will be right here. Make sure you go ahead and join my YouTube family, and I do have a Facebook group, All Things Keto with Kristi. It'll be in the description box. All you need to do is click on that link and go over there and join. You're gonna love it. It's an amazing group of people. They're all supportive. There's no keto police and everyone is so helpful. So make sure you run on over there and join that group. So for today's video, I have a blood glucose test for you, and I do these videos to make sure that my blood glucose doesn't spike after eating a product, food item, so that I'm not knocked out of ketosis. I did add information about that in my last video in the description box, and I'll go ahead and add it in this one too. But basically what it says on the Keto Mojo website is you do not want your insulin to spike over 30 points, because when it does, you are at a risk of being affected blood glucose and ketone wise. And you want it at the 2-hour mark to become baseline again, so where you started. So that reminds me, the product that I'm using today to check my ketones and blood glucose level is the Keto Mojo. This is one of the very few that is on the market where you can test both, and this is the one that I use. I usually test something daily, whether it's my ketones, whether it's my blood glucose. I'm always checking things out because I'm trying to tweak this whole keto journey. So if you are interested in this one, I do have a discount code and I'll have it linked in the description box. If you just want to go ahead and click on that link, it'll take you over there. You can read on their articles, all the important information, and you can find out more about this. Okay, today we're going to be testing these. And I have had so many questions about these bars in my group, on Instagram, private message, emails, Facebook, I mean, everywhere. So you guys really want to know, are these keto friendly? And these are Elevation Millville bars by Aldi. They are the carb conscious bars, and they do have several. When I was looking at these, they had anywhere from 2 net carbs to 3 net carbs. There are a pretty large variety. Basically, you get 5 bars in here. They're almost $5. I think they were $4.99 at my store. I did get the one that are the indulgent treat. So basically, again, this is just a low carb candy bar. The one I'm testing today is the caramel nut. It says naturally and artificially flavored, 2 net carbs per serving, and your suggested serving size is 1 bar. You know what? It even says right here on the box that these are comparable to the Atkins Indulge bars, which I have not tried those either, and you ask me all the time. If they are comparable as far as macros and blood glucose spikes or non-spikes, then this would be your best bet because these are significantly cheaper. I'm gonna go over the macros with you really quick. We already know it says 2 net carbs per serving. You get 1 bar at 130 calories, 8 total fat. You have 17 total carbohydrates. So if you go by total, that is a big number. Your dietary fiber is 5, your sugar alcohols are 10, and your protein in this is 5. I really want to go over all the ingredients, but the list is massive. I mean, we're talking massive. Can you see how long this white bar is? There is so much. I'm going to hit on some of the major points. So it says that it has a chocolate flavored coating, and that is made out of maltitol, and that is the one that has me in question. This ingredient is making me think this is going to spike my blood glucose levels significantly. Chocolate liqueur, cocoa butter, whole milk powder, buttermilk powder, powdered whey protein concentrate, soy lecithin, and natural flavors. Then it tells you everything that is in your caramel flavoring. Again, number 1, maltitol syrup. This also has things like sucralose. It has palm kernel oil, chicory root, lots going on here, and definitely artificial flavors. So make sure you read your labels on this, and if you're sensitive to maltitol, you'll probably want to steer clear of this. We're getting ready to find out if I am. Okay, the moment I've been dreading and you all have been waiting for. Let's see if this is going to spike my blood glucose levels. Okay, not gonna lie, This is the test I have been dreading the most, and that's why I've probably pretty much saved it till last, because I'm not sure if I want to keep going with the bars. If you guys think I should, comment below, give me some more ideas. But I think I'm going to move on to some other things as far as blood glucose goes. It is 8:09 in the morning, and I have been up since about 6:30, so hopefully my blood sugar has had time to even out, because I'm getting, you know, a lot of criticism over this. What I'm using today is my Keto Mojo. I like the Keto Mojo because it tests blood glucose and ketones. I've already washed my hands, cleaning it with alcohol, giving it a second to dry. I'm just going to go over the process this one time for anybody that's new. Then I'm going to dry it off with a clean cotton ball. Starting out with the blood glucose, and then I'll check my ketones. So we'll see where I'm at this morning. And this is first thing in the morning. You guys see? Don't know if you can. It is 83, and the exact time now is 8:11 because, you know, I had to play with the monitor and everything. Now let's check my ketone levels and see exactly where those are, just so we'll know for reference. And what I was going to say about ketone levels, for those of you that ask, I do not take exogenous ketones, my perfect keto base, the day before or the day that I test. So we are at a 1.5 this morning. Woo, that's good. That's really good. The bars are pretty tiny. They smell amazing. Here is what it looks like. Can you see? And let me pull one apart so you can see. Yeah, I got caramel in there. This one again, caramel nuts. I'm gonna go ahead and start eating. Wish me luck. Okay, while I ate that bar, we took an opportunity to start putting some makeup on. It is 8:23. So I will be back in 30 minutes to do my first blood glucose test. But let's talk about that bar. That bar was basically just a candy bar. It tasted great. It sort of reminded me of a Snicker bar. It had like this nougaty bottom, and then it had, of course, the chocolate surrounding it, the caramel on top of the nougat with some nuts. So this is pretty much, I guess, closest thing you can get low carb for Snickers. That being said, I have a horrible feeling about what it's getting ready to do to me, because in the 10 minutes it took me to eat that bar, by the time I was on my last bite, my stomach was making horrific noises, and still is. You may be able to hear some of them. So, not looking forward to seeing what it does to my tummy, nor my blood glucose. Okay, can you see the time? 8:53. It has been exactly 30 minutes since I finished eating. I'm going to go ahead and clean my finger. Same process, already washed my hands, dried off. Let's talk while I let this alcohol dry and I'm wiping it clean. Surprisingly enough, I had the initial first couple of noises from my stomach, and then they completely dissipated and went away, which shocks me, because I thought it would get ugly in my tummy, really, because maltitol, you hear horror stories about that. I'm gonna wipe off the first blood. I don't even know what to expect, especially since my stomach stopped making noises. Honestly, I expect a huge spike here, but I'm not really feeling anything different. Well, maybe a little. Okay, so don't know if you guys can see that. You'll be able to see it way before me. 116. Now, I have been researching this quite a bit since I started doing the blood glucose test, and I've got tons of information from you. So what I have found from my research, and I found this on Keto Mojo, I did put this in the description box of my last video, and I think I'll go ahead and put it in this one as well. But on their website, they state that you do not want a spike more than 30 points within the first 30 minutes. And by 2 hours, it needs to have returned to baseline. So exactly where you started on your fasting blood sugar, or where you began at when you took your first test. If not, that product is causing an insulin response and you may want to eliminate it from your diet. So this was definitely over a 30-point spike. I'm not saying by much. It was 33 points, which honestly surprises me because I thought it was going to go astronomical. Honestly, that's why I had put these off for so long. Again, they're only 2 net carbs, so they're definitely dirty keto. But I didn't want a huge blood glucose spike because I don't want to be kicked out of ketosis. I've been doing really good on keto lately, and these things honestly scare me. I pass them up 100 times in the store. So at the 30-minute mark, we are at 33-point spike. Borderline pretty much by Keto Mojo standards. They don't want you going over 30, but we'll see where we're at 1 hour, and then we'll come back for the 2 hour. I'm honestly shocked at this point. 1 hour check-in mark, and let me clean my finger. I already had everything out, but I'm still not feeling anything like I thought I would. Really was worried about these bars. I don't even know what I'm going to do if this is something that I could possibly allow my children to eat because they do get, you know, a higher carb count than the rest of the family. But if this comes back good right here, I would probably let my youngest have this as the occasional treat because it's not a spike, which I thought it would be. Let me wipe that blood off too. I'm going for like 3rd blood today. And it's at 104. It's not came down significantly. So it wasn't like a huge spike and then a huge decline. It is going at, you know, a slower pace. So the 1 hour mark was 104. When I started my fasting, blood sugar was at 83. I'm shocked, people. I am so shocked. I'm gonna hold off my conclusions until the 2 hour mark, so I'll see you then. But as of right now, even though it went over the 30-point mark and you don't want to spike over that, a half a bar or a bar for your children that are doing low carb and you're trying to keep away from, you know, other things like Snickers or Heath bars or Milky Ways. At this point right now, at the 1 hour mark, I would consider, you know, putting half of one of these or a small chunk of one of these in Briley's lunchbox. Is that crazy? I would have never thought. I honestly was dreading this test so much, but we'll see you at the 2 hour mark to see where it's at. 10:23, hope you guys can see that. So it's been exactly 2 hours since I finished eating the bar. I'm gonna go ahead and test. I'm not gonna go over the process because I know you guys could care less at this point. You just wanna see where those numbers are. And I don't much blame you because I'm extremely curious myself. And most importantly, I'm curious to see where my ketone levels are. I know really you should probably wait longer than 2 hours to check. But, you know, for sake of this video. Okay, so blood glucose at 2 hours is at 80. So it's actually went down to being below baseline at this point because if you remember, my fasting blood sugar was 83. Okay, ketone levels at 2 hours is at 1.3. Honestly, these bars have really shocked me. Okay, let's talk conclusions on the Elevation Better For You bar. Caramel nut, 2 net carbs, comparable to Atkins. They say up here, carb conscious. We went over the ingredients and macros in the very beginning. When I began this test, my fasting blood sugar was 83 and my ketone levels was 1.5. After eating this 30 minutes later, I did spike up 33 points and I was at 116. That is over the normal that you should spike. You should not spike over 30 points because if you do, this is obviously an insulin response. You did get a spike big enough that it could knock you out of ketosis. At the 1 hour mark, I was at 104, so I was declining. And at 2 hours, I was at 80, and I wrote down 83. So I was at 80, and my ketone level was at 1.3, whereas at the beginning of this test, I was at 1.5. So I did drop a little bit, not significantly. I am still in ketosis, burning ketones, all that good stuff. Now, is that where I'm fat adapted and something like this will not affect me as fast as it would a new person doing the keto diet? Because I have been doing ketogenic lifestyle now for 11 months. I think I can get away with things like this occasionally. Now, will I incorporate these bars into my diet? That would be a big ol' no, because a 33 point spike for me is just too much. I would test myself if I was you though, because everyone reacts differently, and I say this in every video. I am not a healthcare professional, so before you start keto, make sure you check with yours. And I'm not, you know, the one that's supposed to be out here giving you all this advice. I'm just showing you what works for me. The occasional treat, possibly. If you're just starting keto and it's either this or a Snicker bar, I would definitely go with this. Again, everyone tests differently, so make sure if you have the ability to check your blood glucose or your ketones, do that to see what the food is doing to your system. The rest of these bars will probably be going into sectioned out baggies. Like, I'll probably cut one in half and let Kerrigan or Briley take it in their lunch. I feel like possibly with a meal, a high-fat meal, this may not spike you as much as it did considering I was doing a fasting blood glucose test. Will I keep these in my house? Heck no. And let me tell you why. This is a big old trigger food for me. I adore Snicker bars and candy bars, and this is basically just a candy bar. And if I had these in the house, I would eat them, even though it gave me a 33 point spike, and I know that's not good for me. I would still eat these because I have no control. I am an impulsive eater, an emotional eater, a stress eater, a binge eater. So these are a big old no-no for my house. We still have 4 bars, so those will have to get gone fast, or maybe I'll give them away. So I'm glad I could do this review for you guys, and I hope I was helpful with this test. If you want to check out more, I will have the playlist linked at the end of this video and also in the description box and probably in the cards up here somewhere. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video, and I hope everyone has a great week. Bye.